Hola, buenas tardes. Justo, creo que no se me llegó a mirar nada, pero bueno. Justo hace, no sé, 10 minutos le di a iniciar. Bueno, da igual, mientras. Le di a ir abriendo. Le di a iniciar y... Uy, va. No, a ver si lo pilla rápido. Quito la música. Y... como que no me lo... Veis que está altísimo. O sea, miré que había algo raro en Twitch. Va a empezar audio. Voy a bajar un poco. Igual es la música. Debería estar pillándola. Está todo en ultra, pero... imagino que no habrá problema en eso. Ah, porque en jueguito está... What? O sea, espérate. Lo que estaba comentando, precisamente. Ahora a ver si lo pillo un momento. Encendí y de repente miro que... Porque actualicé el OBS. Y ahora lo pillo. Y se ve como que me hizo un rollback de las opciones, no sé hasta cuándo. Porque tenía las escenas antiguas. Y ahora mismo lo de capturar jueguito me estaba capturando el LOL. Y el LOL yo lo tengo en una escena aparte. Que imagino que si hago así, esto sí. Aquí debería estar. Imagino que es el launcher. Ventana libre en cliente. Sí. Bueno. Cosas de... Bueno, espérate. Ahora que me lo pillo otra vez. ¿Qué pasa si...? Ah, no, vale. Aún no miré qué juego toca el martes que viene, eso sí. Edith Finch. Este juré que era cortito, por eso, plan, acabamos Alan Wake, ya son 2 horas y media, más o menos. Acabamos Alan Wake y dije, bueno, por cambiar un poco, voy a tirar de un juego cortito, distinto, y pillé este. El siguiente, la semana que viene, bueno, en principio, porque la semana que viene hay fiestas aquí, me va a tocar currar un montón, pero bueno, creo que voy a poder hacer. Toca volver un poco a la misma temática. Que voy a Devil Within 1. Este creo que es muy narrativo el juego. Por lo que estoy mirando. Y está en inglés solo, ¿verdad? A ver, lo que decía de... Está todo en ultra. Creo que sí. Bueno.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the house.
Ah, que me muevo yo. Muy despacio, pero me muevo. Pues así. Vale, shift es para... Y el control también. Para un zoom.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
¿Hay controles? Control de cámara sí, no. Entonces por si quiero simplemente tirar recto.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Why?
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Vale, porque veo aquí todo con movimiento. Plan, de mi personaje de empujar.
My mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Y con...
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Finch. ¿Por abajo o por arriba? Bueno, la idea de este es pasármelo ya.
Even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Imagino... Sí, voy a dar el mismo lado. Uy.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something but never do.
Estoy muy resfriado. Igual tengo ahí unas gominolas de estas de... ¿Cómo se llamaba? De Juanola. Que me las tuve que pillar para la garganta.
The house was exactly like I remembered it. The way I'd been dreaming about it.
Porque estoy que madre de Dios.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were.
Joder, has heredado una casa a los 17 años. ¿Pero tengo que entrar o tengo que ir hacia...? Ah, no, vale. Como ponía las letras ahí. Dicen que es muy bonito el juego. ¿Sí?
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Un Cristo de libros, la Virgen. ¿Tienes una biblioteca en casa o cómo coño tienes tantos libros? ¿O solo la usas? Plan, las estanterías de casa son solo para guardar libros. Que si tienes tantos libros que te gustan. Y si te gustan, no quieres tenerlos así tirados por la casa. Por cierto, hasta el marco este de la cam. De hecho, no sé. Un momento. Creo que está bien, pero... Ah, sí, está bien. Vale, nada. Se me reseteó. Tengo que volver a ponerlo. Ah, no, coño. Pensé que era por aquí. ¿Qué es el garaje? ¿O de dónde? Ah, por ahí. No había visto esta parte antes. Una gatera rota. Ah, bueno.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Bueno, no es de gatera. Es... No sé cómo se llama el de toro. Es que perrera no va a ser. ¿O sí?
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Tío, pues está llenísimo de libros. Pero por todos lados.
Instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
O sea, Finch es... la familia. Texto.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
A ver, ¿cómo tenía gato? De hecho, aquella allí pensé que era comida de gato.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house. So we had Chinese a lot.
Imagino que tengo que ir para arriba.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Imagino que... sí.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Coño. Ahora es full. Ahora tengo los sonidos altísimos. Ay, un momento. Ah, no funciona esto. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué esto no funciona? Ah. Ya sé por qué no funciona. Vale, claro. Ahora sí. Pues aquí hoy estamos bastante bien. Y esto imagino que sí también. Aquí. Vale. Vengo ahora un momentito. Mira, me traje los pañuelos para aquí porque vamos. Coño, pues, a ver, 23 no es tanto. De hecho, creo que estamos nosotros a más. ¿O no? A ver. No, estamos a 22. Pero sí, allá anoche sí que había bastante más calor, pero bueno. Hoy se está bastante bien.
Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Algo me dice que me gustaba. O los insectos. Ah, no. Vale.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
¿Qué hago? Ah, me muevo para atrás.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Ajá. Perfecto.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Mira, más habitaciones. Tío, no, en serio, que hay libros por toda la casa. Pero... loco. Está guapísimo esto, por cierto. Una biblioteca aquí con libros. Un montón. Vale, tengo que ir por ahí.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
A ver, supongo que se acabó acumulando
Mom must have
calor ahí.
walked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left.
No, porque esto es una... O sea, yo por ejemplo quiero tener una de estas, así, pequeñita, y llenarla de libros. Lo que vas... En esta casa vas viendo y tiene libros literalmente por todos lados. Ya no es... Que esto está guapo, ¿no? También. Mira, todas estanterías, pero que hay libros por todos lados. Ya no solo en estantería. A ver, yo cuando digo libros me refiero a libros y mangas.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Y... Ah, bueno, vale, por aquí.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Vaya. 20.000 leguas de viaje submarino.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Ah, es para arriba.
Now
Vale.
it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Sí, ya, bueno, pero...
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Lo que diga la
Reading
gente...
this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Guardando. Pensé que era un croissant.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Ah, pero controlo también.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
¿Qué?
Mom, can I come out
Coño,
now?
tiene la...
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
ese lampión. Más libros.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
¿Un pez? No. Un pez ni te deja intentarlo. No, no sé. Y no parecía ni una zanahoria.
I kept eating and eating.
Ahora la pasta de dientes.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Pero... son de mentira además esas, ¿no? Y si no son venenosas, que yo sepa.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Ya está alucinando.
And suddenly, I was a cat.
Lo he dicho. Hostia, tú, que ahora se mueve. Ah, vale.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Está alucinando que va, flipa, vamos. Imagínate que tengo que seguir el pájaro.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up,
Oh, vaya.
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Fumada es esta.
Rabbits.
¿Dónde? Ah, que tengo que pillar conejos, vale. ¿Y si digo que no miro ninguno? Por aquí sonaba.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Algo más grande, ¿cómo que algo más grande? Coño, si quiere comer. Por aquí
A
sonaba.
mama rabbit.
A Mama Rabbit.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Ah, bueno. Ajá.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Pero no puedo mirar para abajo ni nada. No. Dun, 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 dun. Ah. ¿O si no puedo ir para abajo? Ah, coño. No, hombre, no.
Fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Ahora sí.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Porro el videojuego. ¿Qué soy ahora? Soy un gusano. Soy la parte de atrás de un
Now I was
gusano,
a
de hecho.
monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Ah, no. Soy un tentáculo de chulo.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Tiene pinta.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Está borrachísimo.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across
¿Y ahora
the
qué soy?
water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Ah,
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
agradable aroma en una tubería. No sé yo, Ah, bueno.
I got closer and closer.
¿Este no es? Sí, mi habitación. Bueno, la de la niña. Vamos.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
¿Qué? Ok.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
El gato.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Se llama Odin.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Uy. Ah, ya está.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Ah, amigo. O sea, tengo que ver los puntos de vista de todos, entonces. Aben
When Edie
Finch.
told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Ahora voy a por más café. He volvido. Tomar una de estas porque pilla demasiado sonido. ¿Qué coño?
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Ah. Vale.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Un coso de revelado, ¿no? Se lo ha caído.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Hacen dibujos en vez de imágenes. La verdad que se ve de puta madre con el Moguri. Es lo más cercano a un remake que lo vamos a tener, parece. Sí, sí, parece un cuarto revelado, pero tenía como dibujos en vez de fotos. Ah, vale.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Vale. Bueno, hay creo que una conferencia dentro de no mucho. Lo cual, igual aún hay posibilidad. No lo sé. Esta niña heredó la casa y viene a visitarla. Creo que está viviendo los recuerdos de todos los que vivieron en la casa. La verdad es que estaría bien. Pero bueno, Kojima está con los Death Stranding, con lo cual... Ah, vale, tengo que columpiar.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Pero hace fun y salta.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Ah, ya.
I'm not gonna tell you again.
No, definitivamente no se vas a decir otra vez.
Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
¡Ole! Va a seguir volando, ¿verdad?
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Y esto que es tachar otro... en el librito. Efectivamente. Creo que va eso, de llenar el árbol genealógico.
When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Mirando lo que pasó en la casa. O es lo que estoy entendiendo.
After the
Que no
funeral,
es mucho.
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
¿Puedo? No.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Ah, por aquí. No, no, bonito es. Eso es lo que entendí. ¿Para arriba? Sí, para arriba. Cuando estuve mirando a qué jugar. Ponía que era un juego bonito, por eso. Pues venga. Y corto además. Para...
The passages were a pretty tight fit.
En contraste con...
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
La vinoteca de antes, ¿qué dices? En contraste con el... Con el Alan Wake que jugué. Y para la semana volvemos al estilo de Alan Wake.
Growing
Con...
up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Con... Devil Within 1.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Yo hay libro. Ah, ok.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved
El
this
Devil
one.
Within 1 dices. O este, que estoy jugando.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream.
Lo único malo de este juego que estoy mirando
for Monster Movie fans.
es que es de esos que si los ves ya no tiene sentido jugarlo, porque es un juego narrativo y ya está, de tirar para adelante y mirar la historia.
The scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that.
Tomaste el del Tomb Raider 1, 2 y 3.
Because my dad likes making puzzles and
Creo que los tengo.
There's a key hidden in the music box.
Igual justamente eso lo que tengo. Es lo que están regalando. O yo en cuanto miro la notificación le doy.
Finally, the key pops out.
Thanks, babe.
Anda.
I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Eso tengo que acordarme después.
For the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Me estoy moviendo en el cómic.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
La muleta, pero la sangre que hay en la muleta y toda esta sangre no. Es para hacerla gritar. Ah, bueno, tengo arma.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Ah, claro. La sangre viene de... Sí, sí. ¿Es una backroom o cómo va?
Finch rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
A mí también me está gustando.
Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
La música otra vez. Qué guapo que dan los ojos de gato ahí. Pero gato... o lo que sea.
Walter, are you there? Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Es Garfield.
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. Hinges grow.
¿Cómo coño? Sí, hombre. Mierda de la familia.
Wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Por favor, que ahora me tropiece yo con el otro patín. ¿Ves lo que te decía? Hay libros por todos lados, ¿no tiene sentido?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
¿No tiene luz? No.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters
¿A quién le ha dado una
come
hostia?
to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come
¿Qué?
true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave
Este
up
porro no
the
sube.
moments of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Ok, la oreja. Que te ha hecho ahora Bárbara, supongo, ¿no?
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered. As absurd as that comic was.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Vale. Tengo que ir ahora al... ¿Puedo seguir por aquí? No. Era... Aquí. Epa, está toda la casa conectada por todos lados.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Y no porque hay tantos libros por acá. Está roto. ¿Es por lo de Bárbara? No lo dejaron así. Uy, esto no lo llega a mirar, creo.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Vale, algo me dice que le gustan los libros a todos.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Vale, imagino que tengo que... Ah, sí, esto estaba así, sí.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
O sea, está todo oxidado, ¿no? ¿Y un dragón? El tobogán de dragón, claro. O sea, el dragón...
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
A ver. ¿A dónde lleva esto ahora? No se ve nada. Una linterna.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Una despensa. De
I
puta
think
madre, de
it's
hecho.
that none of us has gotten very far.
Aquí está, mira. Otra historia. A ver qué le pasó a este.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Esto imagino que es cuando se llevaron
But after a few
la
days,
casa por el mar.
I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
Poco. La tengo que ir
Having
poco
a
a poco.
schedule, living
Joder.
for today. I always
Me
expected to be
colotones.
dead tomorrow.
Cambia la letra
But if you wait
para
long
todos.
enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal.
Que no me he fijado en eso.
Almost friendly.
Más mecolotones. Te vas a pinchar con esa punta.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
No hay temblor. Otro que tiene ese
Whatever
cambio.
that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of
Todos
waiting.
mueren por ese rampio este raro.
Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Más libros.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
¿Te coge el martillo?
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month.
Oh, segundos.
I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Vaya. Parece que les te gustan los trenes. En el 2005. ¿En qué años? ¿Qué año este juego?
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
6 y tiene 17. 5, 15, 16. 2016. ¿Qué ha ambientado este juego?
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Bueno, aquí técnicamente vamos a afuera. ¿O era otra alucinación? Creo que era otra alucinación.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was
Lo que
hiding.
no sé es qué extras.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Tiene este juego.
Trying to bury
No
something
parece que haya
that's still
coleccionables.
alive.
Me digo que solo añade media hora.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else.
¿Y te suba al juego?
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Walter. Ah, pero... Este ya lo... Y salto. Igual es que cayó por ahí.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Ay.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Igual esto es otra persona, o sea, alguien que viene después leyendo la historia de ella.
But I thought you should know about your family.
Donde... Joder, por donde entró el
And the
Draculo.
history you're a part of.
Me cago en la puta. Madre Dios, no paras tú de nadar la Virgen.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Tengo ya la garganta de estornudar. A la puta. Ya. Bueno, ya, a ver si ya. Al final sí, voy a tardar más de lo que debería solo por estar así.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any
Mira,
of it seems
el
possible.
columpio del niño. Imagino por aquí.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
A ver, la verdad.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but
Rarity.
the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Perdón. Zurpi, Lurpi, Furpi, Churpi, Burpi. ¿A qué? Ah, no. Durpi y Turpi Junior.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
No sé si voy a poder mirar algo a través de...
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Coño, la virgen.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
La bandera de Estados Unidos, coño.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
No, corona. La que te falta, reina.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday.
No, casa.
And find everything out for myself.
Plataforma en el árbol. Una terracita. Terracita en Madrid.
But looking back on it now,
400 euros.
If she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ah. Que está embarazada. A los 17 años. Es que ya sé.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Bueno, al menos tiene casa para vivir.
They were both pretty intense.
Un bastón, coño. What? Como que se nubló la vista ahí.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Oh, vaya. La historia de Sam. Y un anillo.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
What?
Ah, vale.
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
Did you want to get a picture of me or what?
No entiendo de qué tengo que hacer la foto ahora. Ah.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's this. Okay, got it.
Así que no podía mover la cámara, por eso no.
Pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Aw. You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Pero de qué? Eso es campamento de los Guards.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Ah. ¿No? ¿A dónde tengo que mirar?
Nothing quite like being outside.
Ah, vale.
Hold still.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Oop. Little more gas in the tank, I guess. I'm just saying. I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
No, ¿qué tengo que saque fotografiar ahora? ¿O tenéis para cambiar?
Don, don't
No.
you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
¿Los peces?
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging tree.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
Ah, ciervo.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
La verdad que no.
Let me get the other one.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Don! I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
A ver. Ah, vale.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
still...
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Parece que lo empujó ella. Bueno. Merecido. Por matar al ciervo.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oye, quedan 6 personas. Pobre ciervo, que no hizo nada. Mira, patete. Por la puerta,
Instead of
imagino.
hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Ah, pues no. Tengo que volver afuera. Algo me dice que no, ¿eh? ¿Puedo entrar aquí? No tiene pinta. Y si sigo, ¿qué pasa? No hay nada. Algo tiene que haber ahí. Entonces. Ah, coño. Otro pasadizo. Definitivamente en esta casa no hay
After
privacidad.
Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Gregory. Otra historia.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
it's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Le voy a dar con la rana a eso y se va a ahogar.
Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Más patos.
What he saw. What his world was like.
Coño. Pero ¿dónde?
You did everything you could.
Vale.
Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us.
Lo he dicho, se va a ahogar.
About the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand. About Gregory.
Ah, soy la puta rana.
About everything. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay.
07.
Love, Sam.
¿Cuántos años tenía el niño? 1.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard.
Venga, que se le ven
My father said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Luego si quieres mirar el final de esto en YouTube siempre lo tengo. Okay.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Ah, bueno. No mucho al menos, pero... ¿Dónde tengo que ir ahora? Ah, aquí.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
La Storm.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
¿Se le va a llevar volando la La cometa esta. Ah, tío.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Ya estoy controlando el viento, ¿verdad?
Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, make the music louder. I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone. Just you, the wind, the sea and foam.
Pero ya no lo controlo, ¿no? No, vale.
But I didn't. Until we found you.
Bueno, estos han sido
She never
rápidos.
talked about it, but Mom told me once if I was a boy,
Coño,
they
mira,
were going
ese
to
murió en
name me Gus.
2016. El down este. Que no está aquí. Está sellado. Hostia.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Hija, iba a decir borracha. Estás embarazada.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Ah, por aquí.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad
Uy,
died.
hostia, me acabo de meter. ¿Ya? Ah, no.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Para arriba, supongo.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Down.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Guardando. Vale.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Ah. Qué guapo. Hostia, este fue rápido de cojones.
I was 4 when
¿Qué van
Milton
por el año de
disappeared.
morir? O sea, ahora vendría Lewis. ¿No? O abajo, que no mire si había alguien. Coño, baja.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Ah, bueno. Imagino que ahora tengo que sí que volver para atrás y tirarme, bajar por la barra aquella. Me ponía para interactuar. Puedo entrar aquí.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
A ver, al final el texto te va guiando. ¿Dónde tienes que ir? Vale. Sé que tiene que ir por ahí.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Vamos a buscar un otaku. Un gamer.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
¿Qué está jugando un juego o qué? Bats and toads. Como Battletoads, pero...
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Claro, pues estaba trabajando sin pensar.
Like a whole new Louis. So I let him go on.
Se va a cortar la cabeza algo si él...
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor.
Alcalde.
And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Nueva Louisville. Perfecto.
St. Louis.
Vale.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Esta está siendo larga de cojones también, digo.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows.
Por ejemplo.
He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Poco a poco vamos mirando menos.
Was all in his imagination.
Oye, demasiado pescado, ¿eh? Ahora en 3D. Oye, que me estoy acumulando pescado.
Proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Que le corten la cabeza.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with.
Hay una puerta tan pequeña pa. Y ahora ya en primera persona.
He began to forget the world we know.
Chulo. Ah, no, pero... Se va a cortar la cabeza él.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Es él, el mismo. Va a cogerse a sí mismo.
Despise the man with a royal contempt.
No, pues que iba a coger a sí mismo y trozarse.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Calico. Para todo lo que está dando el PC.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Esto no le va... No, quiere el arma.
There was only one thing left to do.
Coronarse.
Down his head.
Acha.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Vaya.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met
Down.
him.
Bueno, está ahí abajo, Eddie. Ah, claro. El mismo año.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot. On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom... told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Ah, era Eddie.
I wish we
Down es la madre. Murió este año.
But I understand why we left. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Edith. O sea, ella, en concreto, no Eddie.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Pero...
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
¿Y ahora quién soy? ¿Eddie o
the
Edith?
power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Eddie.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Abre, coño. Va a quemarse. En la biblioteca. No parecía quemada.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Oh,
it was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
La casa. Y me duele la nariz de tanto sonarme.
In the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my
No parece que tenga un tipo de letra cada uno. O el que miré antes y esta tiene el mismo o muy parecido.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
Me he dado la vuelta de verdad.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Yo tiro para adelante. Coño. ¿He vuelto? Ah, roca enorme esto. Al menos tengo referencia de algo. Que no se ve nada.
Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Oh.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Vaya.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
Ahora está contando la
If we
historia.
lived forever,
El
maybe we'd have
hijo,
time to
hija.
understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Están haciendo el hijo y está muriendo ella. Imagino.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Sí. Hijo. Ah, lo de la corona ya por... Claro. Os hizo rey. Imagino que estos son los créditos de una forma más... de una forma distinta. Sí. Glu glu. ¿Cómo que glu glu? Artista. Claro, vamos a ir hacia atrás en todos. Voy a esperar simplemente por si hay algo. ¿Qué vino después de... O sea, antes del artista? ¿El de la caza? Supongo. O los niños. Claro, los niños. Ahí está el juez. Bueno, mientras, ahora. Ahí se lee la de los patines, con lo cual queda solo la niña, ¿puede ser? Ahí se hizo gato. Y tiburón. Y lechuza. Polidiéster. Es este en concreto, si no recuerdo mal. Todos estos son Special Thanks. Ah, no. Edith Finch Team. 5 años tardaron en hacer el juego. The End. Ah, pues no hay nada más, entonces no. Aquí no pone... Si le voy a aceptar, ¿qué va a poner el nombre aquí? Down, mira, ya dibujó. Claro, está dibujada. Oye, ¿por qué no ponen? No se sabe cuándo murió. Bueno, cuando nació más o menos. Claro, 2017, ¿no? 2018. 2017 tenía que ser, creo. Pues ya está. Hasta aquí el Edith Finch. El miércoles que viene pues empezamos con el Devil Within 1. Y mañana pues... Es el jueves, ¿no? Sí. Sigo con el Power. Y eso ya hace bastante más por la cámara. Vale. Chau, chau.